If you have visited central or southern New York during the spring months, you may have encountered tall trees with broad pale leaves and beautiful yellow-orange flowers. These trees are Liriodendron tulipifera, otherwise known as tulip trees, fiddle trees, tulip poplar, or yellow poplar, despite belonging to the magnolia family. They are essential to both local and national environmental beauty, structure, and development. Home to many insects, one of the tulip tree's most important roles is to be a larval host to developing caterpillars and source of nectar for an array of hungry pollinators. Some caterpillars you may observe on Liriodendron tulipifera include the tulip tree silk moth, eastern tiger swallowtail, spice bush swallowtail, and tulip tree beauty moth. Hummingbirds and honeybees frequent the large flowers as pollinators, while small rodents, herbivores, and birds feast on the seedlings. Tulip trees grow at accelerated rates, often reaching heights between 80 to 120 feet. At around 15 years old, they will begin to produce their signature flower, blooming from late April to June. The flower reaches 2 to 3 inches in diameter. Its leaves are arranged alternately and tend to be large and smooth with 4 lobes. In the fall, these leaves adopt a yellow autumnal color. Liriodendron tulipifera is native to eastern North America. It is hardwood and deciduous. The fruit they produce is aggregate and cone-shaped, and the seeds are distributed by wind. In New York, this species tends to be found flourishing in the Hudson Valley region. The eastern tiger swallowtail is a large butterfly dominantly yellow in color with bands of black on the wings. These insects can reach 3 to 5 inches at maturity. Developed females lay singular large green eggs selectively on the upper surface of leaves of plants belonging to the magnolia and rose families. The larvae, or caterpillar, of the eastern tiger swallowtail are plump and green with a set of false eyes to deter predators. Typically, these organisms are between 2 to 3 inches long. When first hatched, the larvae will consume their eggshell. Then they will spin a mat of silk to rest upon within a folded leaf as they develop and consume the greenery around them. These caterpillars then finish developing in their pupate stage amongst the leaf litter and sticks at the base of tulip trees. Spice bush swallowtail butterflies are dark in color with blue scales prominently displayed on their hind wings. This species is similar in size compared to the eastern tiger variety at 4 inches when mature. Females will lay singular white-green eggs on the underside of leaves. The larvae species also construct shelter out of folded leaves while developing. When first hatched, larvae will consume both their eggshell and initial molt. Fully grown caterpillars are around 2 inches long. They are plump and green in color, with vibrant blue spots along their back and large false eyes. As the larvae prepares to pupate, they will change color to orange and find shelter on leafy vegetation away from the host plant. The tulip tree silk moth is a patterned brown moth approximately 4 inches long, whose larvae are specialized feeders on the leaves of Liriodendron tulipifera, which is thought to be their only food source and much favored over similar host plants. The caterpillar of this moth is chubby and green with unique spurs protruding from both ends of their body. Eggs of this species tend to be laid in clusters of 10 on the underside of tulip tree leaves. The adults of this species do not eat and have a lifespan of 1 week, existing only to mate. The tulip tree beauty moth is a small insect at less than 2 inches when mature. This species possesses extensive camouflage and is almost undetectable when resting against the tree bark. The larvae of these moths favor tulip trees much like the tulip tree silk moth caterpillars. However, they have been observed to also indulge upon sassafras trees. When developing, these caterpillars are brownish-green in color, slim, and move by inching forward. Although these insects depend on tulip trees to feed their young, no permanent or irreparable damage is caused by the developing caterpillars. After butterfly larvae pupates, the adults may revisit their host tree to consume the nectar produced by flowers. This in turn allows for pollination, resulting in a symbiotic relationship between Liriodendron tulipifera and the visiting species. While the adult moths that utilize tulip trees cannot return the same favors as butterflies, their presence is equally harmless. Besides from providing a safe and reliable environment for generations of butterflies and moths and producing both nectar and seedlings for various other species, tulip trees are also important within the history of our country and efforts of conservation. George Washington, the first president of the United States, planted tulip trees at his Mount Vernon property, which reach heights of over 140 feet today. Daniel Boone, an American pioneer, utilized wood from a tulip tree to carve a 60-foot canoe. Later settlers would construct log cabins, fence posts, and railroad ties from the same species. Cherokee communities used parts of tulip trees in medicinal practice to treat a variety of maladies, from diarrhea to fractured bones, parasites, and animal bites. Today, this tree is favored due to its rapid growth, which is quickly helping restore damaged forests along the East Coast. The wildlife Liriodendron tulipifera attracts encourages restoration and habitation in regions previously affected by both fragmentation and deforestation. These factors combined contribute to the significance of this native hardwood tree. Locally, the species has been observed at Toganic State Park, Stewart Park, and Buttermilk Falls.